The best way for you to document your projects, in my opinion, would be using infrastructure as code. So when you are using the AWS console and you deploy and create these resources, it's very hard for you to, one, keep track of the configuration, and there is essentially no written out document. So infrastructure as code, that's where we'll be using AWS CloudFormation, or you could use Terraform. And what that does, it allows you to actually deploy your resources using what we call infrastructure as code, which essentially means that you set up the configuration of the resources, you deploy the resources, and it also allows it to be a repeatable task. If I were you, I'd set up a GitHub repository. I'd use AWS CloudFormation to deploy my resources. You can get all the information on how to use infrastructure as code on the AWS documentation. Infrastructure as code is not something like Python or like JavaScript or Java or C++. It is a much more readable language. When you do go online, it is going to be quite easy for you to wrap your head around. Following that, I then probably create a CI/CD pipeline. The reason for that is because you will be able to track all the changes that you make. And finally, I'd also set up AWS billings. If you set up your billings, one will have alerts, and two, you'll know that you're not going over, the amount that you wanted to spend. On top of that, it is very good practice of you being able to find out ways that you can cost optimize a lot of the resources that you deploy. As a lot of customers, their focus is how can I make my resources, my solution cheaper. And I think the final thing again would be make sure you use free tiers. So free tiers are the way forward. It allows you to practice. It allows you to get a good understanding and feel of how to use these resources. I think those would be like my top tips for you. Make sure to always delete the resources at the end of it. If you've got it on GitHub and if you've got it as infrastructure as code, you can then just deploy it whenever you want to and whenever you need. So I hope this helps. Peace.